Hi there, and welcome to the second part of my Doctor Who DVD box set collection review. And I'm going to get right started. I'm going to start right into it because I don't want this to be too long, and I want to go through each one of these with you so you guys know what ones are worth picking up. Next up is Revisitations 2, a great set. And like I mentioned before, I hope you watched the first video first. The Revisitation sets are some really incredible sets, probably some of the best sets that were put out by the BBC for Doctor Who. Of course, these are done by, was it Take Two? Something like that. I can't remember now. 2 Entertainment. I can't believe I forgot that. This one has Seeds of Death, Carnival of Monsters, and Resurrection of the Daleks. So if you watched my first video, you know that I mentioned that. And if you're a fan of Doctor Who, the new series, then you'll probably recognize the monsters here. Yes, that is them. And I love these. I love these guys up there. So, Seeds of Death is a 2-disc set, of course. So most of these are going to be 2-disc sets. And great story about the Ice Warriors. Now, this is a commentary with Fraser Hines, Wendy Padbury, the director, and of course script editor Terrence Dicks. And normally, when I hear a script editor or something like that, I don't think about the most exciting commentary type guy. But Terrence Dicks is a really good storyteller, and he's really interesting when he's interviewed here. There's also Lords of the Red Planet, and look back at the creation of the Ice Warriors and the reappearance in Seeds of Death, which is actually kind of cool. There's talk on sowing the seeds. Ice Warriors, basically the Ice Warriors recalling their experience of bringing the Martians to life. Monster Masterclass basically talks with Michael Ferguson about directing some of Doctor Who's most famous monster stories. Also really, really cool. Monsters that came back for more. These are it's kind of a cool little featurette about monsters that returned, as opposed to like people that look like made one-off appearances, which is actually really, really cool. I'm saying cool a lot. But Seeds of Death's a great one. Of course, it's Patrick Troughton, the second Doctor, and I love Troughton. Next up is Carnival Monsters Special Edition, and this is another 2-disc set. And it has John Pertwee, and I love the John Pertwee years Doctor Who. This one has the second assistant, Joe Grant, of course played by Katie Manning, doing the commentary. Barry Letts. There's a second commentary with Peter Halliday, Cheryl Hall, and Jenny McCracken. And we have the episode 2 comes with an early edit, kind of a longer edit, unrestored. There's behind the scenes on here. There's the Five Faces of Doctor Who trailer, which is actually pretty cool. Director's amended ending. Destroy All Monsters. This is what I really like. The making of the story. I love the making of on these Doctor Who things. They are really, really fun. If you haven't watched Doctor Who, it's really hard to or seen these videos, these DVDs. It's really hard to explain. But if you watch Scream Factory DVDs or Arrow, and you see the making ofs and the behind the scenes on those, it's the same quality of that the Doctor Who was doing it first. I'm putting these really kind of cool making ofs together, and this is one of the best. These are some of the best. The A to Z of Gadgets and Gizmos is a fun little one. On Target with Ian Marter, of course, talks about the Doctor Who actor that later will become a novelist, and unfortunately he's not with us anymore. Now the third one, and this one is a classic story. It's the first Dalek story in the sets, and I think it's the only Dalek story in the Revisitation sets. That's the Resurrection of the Daleks with Peter Davison. Of course, we got Davros back here as well. Deals with modern day at the time, 1984 London. We have a commentary with Terry Malloy, who plays Davros, of course, and writer Eric Seward, who some of the stuff he said I have problems with. Peter Davison and Janet Fielding on the second commentary, because a lot of doctors don't go on with Eric Seward because he kind of stabbed the show in the back when he left it. This again is another 2-disc set, and I haven't shown a lot of this before, but there's like Janet Fielding, who plays Tegan. That's Peter Davison, who's the 5th Doctor. A lot of people know him there. First, there's Davros, the leader of the Daleks, and This one here is has Tegan and Turlo on it. There's a great breakfast time thing with Janet Fielding and John Nathan Turner being interviewed. There is a this one is a cool. It's kind of cool. It has there's the original 2-part. This was originally done in 2 parts, and plus it also has a 4-part version of the story as well. So that's actually really, really cool. I forgot about the last Dalek, behind the scenes look at the filming for the 1967 Evil of Daleks. Come in number 5. This is one of the greatest things, and this is why I wanted this one. Come in number 5 is a retrospective on Peter Davison's entire tenure as the 5th Doctor. It runs about 55-60 minutes long, and it's hosted by David Tennant, the 10th and probably the most famous Doctor right now. And just incredible. And of course, this one here has Tomorrow Times on there as well, which I mentioned before. A retrospective talking about Peter Davison basically what the public thought of Davison as the Doctor. A lot of these have Easter eggs on them as well. Booklets, just incredible stuff. I want to put this in right. And next up, we're going to go right into Revisitations 3. And this one I was really excited to get this one because this has one of my favorite stories on here. There's Tomb of the Cybermen, 3 Doctors, and the Robots of Death. And we get 3 more Doctors on this one here as well. I'll do these in order of the Doctors. The first one, of course, is Tomb of the Cybermen Special Edition. If you're watching the show now, this is the episode, the serial that Matt Smith watched that inspired him to play the Doctor the way that he played him, including the bow tie, because bow tie's cool. It's a great story. It's a really haunting story. Cybermen, it almost has a horror-esque aspect to it, which I really liked. There's a commentary with Victoria and Jamie on it. It was recorded in 2001, of course. There's another commentary with a bunch of the actors on here as well, so we got 2 commentaries. We have Morris Berry's introduction, basically the director's introduction, introducing it from 1993. There's a late night lineup, kind of behind the scenes and BBC special effects. The final end 18mm film from Evil of Daleks, and the Abominable Snowman audio trailer, because that was one of the last episodes. I wonder if the Lost Giants cast and crew back on the making of the story. The Curse of the Cybermen. This story was lost for a long time, by the way. So when this came out, it was really really cool. History of the Cybermen is really, really good. I think if you haven't seen if you're not familiar with Doctor Who or the Cybermen characters, this is a really great start. I love this story. It's one of my favorites. Next up was a kind of an anniversary story that was done back in the day. This is during John Pertwee's run as the Doctor. And John Pertwee, of course, was Doctor from 1970 to 74. And it's the 3 Doctors. This one here has John Pertwee, it has Patrick Troughton, and it has, of course, William Hartnell, the original Doctor. Unfortunately, William Hartnell was sick at the time, so his scenes had to be shot separately where he could be sitting down. There's some great stuff on here. There's a commentary with Katie Manning, who played Joe Grant. Nicholas Courtney was the Brigadier, of course. He was passed on now. Barry Letts, the producer of the series at the time. Happy Birthday to Who is a look at the making of the anniversary story. Was Who Rubbish? The Defense Against Criticism on the classic series. Girls. This is I think this was done on a few sets. Sets like this. This was the 1970s edition, and it has Katie Manning, Carolyn John, and Louise Jameson. In other words, it's got Liz Shaw, it's got Joe Grant, and it's got Leela, and they're talking about the being a 70s Doctor Who girl and how it changed over the years. There's a Pebble Mill one interview here. Blue Peter stuff as always. Peter was an English children's program that did a lot of stuff on Doctor Who. There's cast and crew interviews, 5 Faces Doctor Who trailer again, of course. A 40th anniversary trailer, just some really, really great stuff. They have some Radio Times listings on here, as of course on for your DVD-ROM. Just an incredible story with 3 Doctors, which we'd see again. And recently we saw 3 Doctors in the series recently. The Robots of Death. Robots of Death is an incredible story. It's kind of like a murder mystery, Agatha Christie-esque story. Love this one. This is the Tom Baker era one. Tom was the doctor for the longest amount of time then. It was doctor from 1974 to 1981. So needless to say, it was an incredible run for an actor, and he kind of popularized. And if you haven't seen Doctor Who before, and you see like you watch Simpsons or stuff like that, it's Tom Baker's Scarf Doctor that you usually see popping up in little cameos and stuff like that. Ropes of Death is the only one in the Revisitations set that has one disc, but it is an incredible disc and has some great stuff. We've got two commentaries on here. We got the Sandmine Murders, so basically making up, but don't watch the making of until after this. Robophobia, which is a really funny story, look back in the history of the robots. Toby Haydock, I think that's how you pronounce his name, does a lot of stuff for these sets, and he's really funny. He does really great stuff. There's some model shots, studio floor plan, interactive view of the layout, continuity stuff. We got radio times listings again, just some really cool stuff. And with that, guys, I'm going to end this here one, and hopefully we'll get to do another one before I go to sleep and look at a couple more of my Doctor Who sets. Hope you guys are enjoying this, and let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Please do comment down below and let me know what you think Doctor Who, if you're into it, if you're thinking about getting into it, and who your favorite Doctor is. And from here right now, I got a little bit left before I gotta go boil the kettle again. And needless to say, I'm using bottled water to boil the kettle because we still don't have any water here in the house, which really sucks. That's going to take them 3 days to get it fixed, but for me right now, really is time to grab a bottle of water and make some tea. It's time for tea.